episode 113 of The Wheelhouse. Trains, planes, automobiles, ferries, cargo ships. Henk Vogels is with us. He's back from the tour of Langkawi. We're going to hear all about that. Joel Spreadborough, well, he's famous now. Too famous for us. He's off doing something in TV land. We've got Merckxy, though, and we've got Henk.
Yep,
and,
I am.
We're ready to go. Oh, Freddie.
Oh, Freddie. He's a classic.
Little Cocker Spaniel. He's our team mascot.
Super cute.
He's a very cute doggy. I don't think he would have liked the planes, trains, automobiles, cargo, ships.
And bikes. And lots of bikes.
Etc. How was the Tour de Langkawi?
Oh, it was a great race. A 2-point pro. With a lot of World Tour teams, so it was good for us to be over there. But, yeah, we did lots and lots of transfers and we started on the little island of Langkawi, did a 80, 90k road stage on there, and then we had to ferry all the cars across on the same day as we did a stage, I might add, and then 5 or 6 days on the mainland in Malaysia.
Hold on, so it's the Tour de Langkawi.
Which starts in Langkawi.
But it only starts in Langkawi and then it leaves Langkawi.
It does, and then you go to the mainland Malaysia and then to Sarawak, which is near Borneo, and we had to catch a plane there after they threw in a 125k stage in the morning just to make it more difficult. So they lost our bags, so I was up until probably 3 in the morning waiting for them because we had to get ready for the race the next day.
So you weren't all sharing underwear for the week?
I may have washed some underpants in the sink, but no, we it all ran pretty smoothly, but logistically it was pretty difficult. But it was a great race. We had like World Tour teams there as a 2-point pro, so it was a big event and lots of bunch sprints and
how'd the
lots
boys
of action. Not too bad. Blake Agnoletto is in top 10 and rolled some of the big World Tour sprinters. So he was 6th one day, 4th in a bunchy, and a couple other top 10s. But Ollie Bledden, our Olympic gold medalist, he crashed really hard and he couldn't continue, had to pull out. And we had 2 other guys go out of time limit and get this 46 and a half. What's that?
Well, time limit.
Out of time limit.
But they're classy bike riders. How did that happen?
Well, what happened is they you only have 10% on a flat stage, but on this flat stage, there was a 35-kilometre climb in it, and they averaged 46.5k an hour with a 30k climb. And the commissaire, who's an absolute douchebag, I might add, actually threw Matt Wilson out of the Giro last year. But anyway, that's a whole nother kettle of fish. But I was super dark. So 20 guys went out of time limit by a minute 50 on a 46.5k average stage. So we end up with 3, but they rode really well, and they were in the break the last couple of days. So they punched above their weight, but it would have been nicer to have Ollie there because he was the lead-out man for Blake, and it really hurt us as a team. But well-organised event, just way too much transfers. I've never seen anything like it, but it was a hard 2 weeks. But, yeah, done for the year now.
It means that when they get to the World Tour, the races will be super relaxed.
Oh, yeah. Imagine doing that and going to Tour Down Under where you literally spend a whole week in the buffet at the Hilton and don't move. You just fly in, ride your bike and go back to the same room, no transfers.
Well, that's a point, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's why we always get big names at Tour Down Under, because it's
easy.
Actually pretty cruisy.
And they love it. It's good weather. You know, they've been in the snow and come over and do TDU. It's an amazing race. And, I did the very first one back in 99 and worked on many different levels of the tour. So, yeah, I'll be looking forward to seeing that next year.
Well, it's a wrap on the team now. Moves to under 19 next year.
Yeah,
it's been quite a journey.
It has. It's a full wrap for me because I'm actually not with the team next year. So that'll be interesting to see how they go, and good opportunities for the next generation of under 19s. But sad for the under 23s because they don't get to go anywhere. They've got to now find their own squads, and there are a couple of riders that have some more years in under 23, but now we've got a large hole in that space in Australia, which sucks for that generation. But yeah, we're in a transition phase now in cycling Australia with that Pro Velo starting up, which is super cool. But yeah, leaves a hole for some of those under 23s.
Oh, well, you better put your phone on silent now that people know you're on the market. It's going to start blowing up.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great to get over to Europe and be part of one of the bigger teams, and we'll see how that rolls. But, yeah, open to anything at the moment.
Yeah, well, look, in the meantime, Blackline Racing League starts this weekend. We'll talk about that a bit later. We have a team in there, and we don't have a team manager on the ground this week in Sydney.
Oh, Jesus.
So, you know, Henk, if you do get a bit of an emergency call-up.
From the bear.
From Bear, yeah. Now, on the weekend, there are some really big things happening, Henk.
Mm-hmm.
Number one thing, it was Merckxy's birthday.
Oh,
Happy
it
birthday,
was.
Merckxy.
Oh, happy birthday. How did that went through to the keeper, mate?
Yeah, it was good. Bit of mountain biking.
Yes.
How'd you go?
He went very well.
Did he?
I did all right.
Look.
Did you stay up?
Came off a few times.
Oh, you did.
Well, one of those was very clearly my fault because what I figured out on trail is I don't actually love mountain biking that much. What I love about it is being off the road. So I think gravel's actually what I love. You know, like I love the fire trail. And anyway, we were going down a trail, down a single track descent, and I was going pretty slow. Like you could hear my brakes groaning
the whole time.
The whole time. And Merckxy was behind me. He's got a penchant for a bit more speed. So I thought when there was an opportunity, I'd pull out of his way. I didn't realise he was coming so quickly, and I essentially just stopped right in front of him on a trail. And he did a very good job of not running square up my ass, but instead had a bit of an off. So sorry about that one.
Oh, well, you know what? I think falling off in mountain bikes is like just what you do. Like
that sport is an orthopedic surgeon's dream.
I'm good at it. I'm good at falling off.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you're good at mountain biking.
No, I'm pretty bad at it. That's why. But I think it's just part of the sport, right? When you go off road and there's obstacles, you're just going to hit the deck.
Yeah, well, that's part of what I don't feel the most comfortable at, you know?
Because you're like a tracky roadie, right? Like you're used to your lane.
I am.
You've gone out of your lane a bit, so you're gone out of your comfort zone.
Well,
and sometimes that can be fun, though.
Oh, no, it can be fun. And we were enjoying it. And in the evenings, after we sat by the fire, literally, it was beautiful up at Spice's Hidden Vale.
Oh,
so it's like there's a beautiful, you know, hotel resort thing, but then the mountain bike park adjoined. It's fantastic. But we were watching Gravel Worlds. And aside from the fact that Mariana Vos has won yet another world title, oh my gosh.
How many is that now?
13?
Was
maybe.
it 13?
Merckxy, we might have to get an exact number on that.
I thought it was 17.
Mountain bike, cyclocross, road, track, gravel. Like, I'm sorry, ridiculous. And, of course, Van der Poel, he won.
So just on
next
Vos,
level.
14 world titles.
14, there you go.
4 disciplines over 19
Split
years.
the difference.
Okay.
That's the GOAT.
That is just the very
that's
best
what they call
of the very best.
The GOAT, right? In all aspects.
Aside from the incredible performance from her, outsprinting Lotte Kopecky and watching Matthew Van der Poel win yet
Who outsprints
another.
Kopecky?
I know. Well, only Vos.
Right?
Really.
Like how many times has she been beaten in a small group or even a bunch sprint? Like she is okay, she's not a bunch sprinter, but not many girls have done that in her career. Their careers.
Dare I say it was slightly underwhelming despite that, because it was
not the victory.
No, not the victory. I mean, just the whole race.
The course.
Well, I mean, it looked less gravelly than Strade Bianche.
Or Paris Tours, which is pretty much on the same weekend, right?
It looked less hardcore than Paris-Roubaix or Flanders. And my expectation of gravel is...
Fully on gravel.
All
the images all on gravel. But like, I'd love to know the percentage of gravel at Gravel Worlds.
Wow.
I'll look that up, Henk. That's my job. But you've ridden Paris Tours.
Yeah, I've ridden Paris Tours. I got third in that 1 year. And back in 97 or 98 when I did it, or late 90s, it was still 270. It was known as a sprinter's race. But I think they've added in the last 5 or 10 years lots of, like Trobro Leone, Paris Tours, they've added gravel elements to keep it more exciting. So certainly looked like a more exciting race. It looked like Strada Bianchi compared to Gravel Worlds.
Yeah, I personally want to see more hardcore. I want to see more gravel. I want it to be less like Strada Bianchi and more like Gravel Unbound, like where you just have these long, magnificent courses on gravel roads.
So point to point. It would have to be a point to point or a circuit fully on gravel, right?
Yeah, that's my expectation. I mean, at one point it looked like they were going through the car park of a police station, you know, and between playgrounds. And it just seemed a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah, no, I agree. I totally agree with you there. And, I mean, I think it's a weird event. I think it's a weird event to have a gravel world champs where, you know, riders who are not part of the gravel scene, you know what I mean? Like, that is a...
If you're a gravel pro, it's got to rub you up the wrong way to have it
like
on
Swenson
a not very gravelly course and have the road pros
just roll
swan in, win.
Well, can I also say that just shows you who the better riders are, isn't it?
Oh, maybe.
So, like, it shows the gravel specialists up, like, who is so much better. Like,
but hang on.
Whoa. Yeah, but all those guys are. You've got to be physically better, right?
But how is the biggest gravel team supported? What's their budget?
Well, are there
There's
fully
60
gravel
million
teams?
Well, that's what I mean. So,
There isn't one.
So
I don't think it's about budget, though.
it's like saying, you know, a Formula One driver wins Bathurst. Like, you can't compare. I don't think it's fair.
But a Formula One driver, like, their budgets are so much bigger. I don't think they would win Bathurst, would they? Or, I mean, actually...
they wouldn't because they don't drive those cars.
That
No,
is...
I mean in a Formula One car. But
Oh, right, I see.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
the support, you know, nutrition, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's got to be an element, but I just...
But it just shows you physically that the riders are better than the gravel riders. Like Harsey, right? Like, he was an ex-pro who kind of gravel's like where good pros go to die. I know that sounds terrible.
No, it was.
But like,
Hassey
was a good road pro, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, he was in the upper echelon for a little while, and he's like, couldn't get a contract, and good rider, really good rider, solid. And then it's like he struggled to get a contract, and then, you know, goes and does gravel and gets Colnago as a sponsor and talks them up on Instagram, and it becomes like a family gravel racing, and then you have the world, and it's like, oh, well, the roadies are like, well, we can pants all you guys. So we're going to just come here and show run.
But Kopecky said she's never ridden a gravel race before.
Yeah.
So how can, like, they need to get rid of those wild cards.
But she's done...
Yeah, well...
That's right.
Maybe you just can't have wild cards. You've got to qualify over 6 events over the year, and you've got to finish in the first 30 or something to qualify for gravel worlds, and maybe they need to do that. But obviously having the big names in there gets eyeballs watching the race, like Van der Poel and Kopecky.
Something's got to change, because otherwise it's a cool race to watch, but it doesn't really elevate the gravel scene.
No, it doesn't.
Maybe that's just the UCI.
But
like
maybe
once the UCI comes in and owns everything.
It's the UCI's problem then, isn't it? Another one. But it's kind of cool that the good gravel riders get to rub shoulders with, like, the world's best cyclists.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I mean? Like, they get, you know, Trekkie gets to ride with, you know, Van der Poel and Stuyven and, you know, those guys. So, yeah, there's a bit of work to be done on it, I reckon. But it was a spectacle, but it was also weird.
Yeah,
definitely weird.
Henk, I've had our research department get back to me. 60%, 40% gravel to road.
60 gravel to 40 road. Okay.
Yeah,
that's not enough.
Gravel.
It's got to be 80
Yeah,
minimum.
but
I'd like 100.
Yeah. 100 would be, I think, a better spectacle. But don't they call that cyclocross? Isn't it? Then becomes a cyclocross. So what are we going to have next?
Yeah.
Hey, wheelie comps.
You're looking further down the rundown. You are. Now, speaking of all these very specialty disciplines, gravel's a new specialty. What about sprinting? Mark Cavendish.
Oh yeah.
The greatest sprinter ever. We're talking about him. We talked about him pretty much every episode for the first year, because it was, will he get a contract? Will he break the record? There was always something. Finally now, I think this is actually his last showing at the Tour de France Criterium in Singapore. Let's not call it a race. It's not a race. It's a showcase.
Do you reckon he'll win?
I reckon he might.
Do you reckon he'll win?
Although in years past, Chris Froome has out-sprinted him at Criterium.
Yeah,
See, he's not the world's best sprinter
So-
if Froome beats him, is he?
No, well, clearly not. But we say goodbye to him. Spectacular career. But is he the best sprinter ever, Henk? Is that what he's leaving the sport with?
Oh, I mean, if you put him, he's the best Tour de France sprinter.
That's very specific.
I mean, we need AI in this program to actually answer that properly. Yes, he's won the most amount of Tour de France stages. Bugs me this conversation bugs me a little bit because he beat Merckx's record, right? But Merckx won time trials, won 2 stages and everything else. Cav won flat stages where, and he won the most, and he won all of them in bunch sprints. I think mine have been 1 or 2 in a break, but it was still a sprint.
So,
but yeah.
Yeah, you can say without doubt he's the best Tour de France sprinter ever.
Correct.
That's what he can take away.
I think he is the best Tour de France sprinter that has ever lived.
Because in other sports, like in cricket, it can be the most amount of wickets across a career. Like it's really, you can compare.
Well, yeah, I mean, like
Can't
Warney
really
was the best
cycling.
spin bowler, but Muralithalan's got another 100 on him. There's lots of other. He was the best bowler or best batter. And,
Yeah, how do we quantify best ever sprinter?
Well, I mean, you would have to put him in the top 3 all time. And Tour de France, yeah.
I mean, Pataki, best Giro.
Yeah, Cipollini. I mean, how many races did Chippo win and Robbie McEwen win? And we can go back to, and Baffy and
Jeez, you're putting
sprinters.
me to work today.
No, we don't.
I'll get the department on it. You know what I love about Cavendish, though? This is pretty deep. The way he is so honest and open about his battle with depression. And he's like a big kid, He's so open and honest. And you don't get that in many sports people.
Oh, we're going to miss him. Someone who wears his heart on his sleeve. He's always been good with media, and he's now a sir, and
Sir Mark.
Sir Mark, and everyone forgets too. There's world champion on the track. The accolades he's got there. He wasn't just a one-trick pony. He was a very good track racer in that era with Wiggins. And to win that many stages in the Tour de France, so we're gonna miss it. Everyone wanted him to win that last stage.
Oh yeah.
And took him a long time to get there, and that was something that kept him going the last 2 years, I would say. Otherwise, he'd be done. But going for that record, and I was lucky to race with him in the end of my career when he was coming up in 2006. So he's had an incredible career because I've been retired a long time. So
he's also a model. Look at this. He's a model.
Ooh.
Look at this. Front of Vanity Fair.
Vanity Fair.
Who would have ever thought?
Have you ever been on the front of a magazine?
No, I've been in a few magazines, but not.
Modelling, Henk, or just racing photos?
No,
Were they black and white photos?
yes, I did a nude one
Nude.
time. Nude. Nude.
Right.
Yeah.
So nothing covering anything.
Just
You couldn't see any Frankenbeans, but pretty much
How did
nude.
they artfully?
It was for the
cover that?
96 Olympic Games, and I wasn't the only person nude in there. That was an Olympic special, and they pretty much flicked us pretty badly.
Everyone was nude.
Yes, including
Was there a
our
group shot?
CEO of Cycling Australia, Tracy Gaudry, was nude.
Did not know that.
Yes,
Madame
yes.
Gaudry nude as well.
Yes.
There were no group shots, were there?
No, it was definitely no groove shots. There was a couple of fellas that got in there together. I think a couple of kayakers got nude and
Got nude together.
Yeah.
So what was keeping you modest? Like a gel,
Yes.
like a gel wrapper?
I'm always
Probably
modest,
a bidden.
mate.
Come on, Egg. Probably
Yeah.
a bidden.
No, it was actually pretty cool.
I'm gonna have
looking
to
this
find
up.
this now.
I'm
You'll
opening
never
my-
find it.
I'm opening
It
my-
won't be
my
on the
private
it won't be on
browser.
the World Wide Web.
It will be.
It won't be.
Everything
Any
is
other
Hank.
cyclists?
Hey?
Just yourself and Madame Gaudry?
Yes, and Dean Capo Bianco was in
Oh,
there.
yes.
And there was some
Matt Shervington's probably too young.
No, he wasn't in it.
Jeez.
But yeah, it was 96. So
There you go.
it was pre-Olympic Australian athlete. It was super cool. It was super cool. Actually, I got to tell this quick story. They flew me down to Sydney, completely shaved every follicle off my body.
They did or you did?
They did. Someone else did it.
Oh,
A
my
lady
Lord.
shaved me completely nude, and I mean everywhere. Backside, front side, chest, under the arms, and then they painted me with silver paint. Get this, so I'm completely silver, and then they had to cancel.
Huh.
Oh, you're joking? I just went all through that. They're like, oh, yeah, something didn't work or whatever. And then I just had to go and wash it all off. And then they flew me down to Sydney and did it again. It was actually pretty cool. I was sitting on like this disc, like this table we are on right now. And they just span me in a circle, and then they just took heaps of overhead photos. And they blurred it a bit because they needed to blur certain bits. But yeah. Anyway,
Well,
we're going back here. We're just going back 30 years.
It is our new mission to find this photo.
You won't find it.
I'm
Have
on
you
it.
got a hard
I
copy?
am on it. Gee, there's a lot of nude
Pardon,
Olympians
pardon?
over the years.
Yeah, look at him. Look, he's actually on there. He's Googled
He
nude
is.
Olympians.
It is.
So
Yeah.
you've never done any nude shoots, Kate?
I have not.
I mean,
No, not even, nearly. Like nothing swimsuity, nothing.
no.
No,
Okay.
fully clad. I did once do.
Well, not yet anyway. Eh?
Oh yeah, hey. I did once.
Merckxy's like, come on.
I did one shoot. I can't even remember what it was for, but I stood on a table like this, straddling my bike with very high stilettos on
What?
and a business suit,
Oh.
which was very hard to get on. It was a skirt, like very hard to get on the bike
Yes.
with this. And I think I had a helmet on as well. Anyway, very glam. And then like 6 people sitting around the table looking up at me.
Oh, very nice. Well, I'm sure Merckxy will
Yeah.
look at that.
What was-
Martin
what was
Vinnick?
that for?
I can't even remember.
He's looking it up. He's looking it up
I
right
can't
now.
remember.
You know,
How
Mar-
can you not
Find it
remember?
somewhere. Oh, it's
Didn't-
just, one of the random experiences.
Didn't Martin Vinnick pose for Playgirl one year?
Was play girl a thing? What? I don't even think I knew that.
Come on, Kate. You knew
I
what Playgirl
truly
was.
did not. I mean, none of this was on the rundown. I'll
No.
say that.
We're just going off on a tangent. Stock
Oh,
standard
There
wheelhouse.
you
There we
go.
go. Yes, I am 18 years or older.
You know,
There we go. Whoa!
Okay, you are going to get some kind of a bug on your phone.
I'm
if
getting
you keep
closer,
looking,
Hank.
Merckxy.
Getting
what were we
closer.
talking about again?
We were talking about Mark Cavendish because he was in Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
is
Oh,
where
yeah.
we were talking. Now,
Quite the tangents.
talking of cycling royalty and goats and comparing and
Yeah.
all that sort of stuff, you weren't in the bunker. You were in probably on a cargo ship, Malaysia somewhere.
Yep.
When Worlds were on.
Yep. I was in actually Langkawi watching it.
Yeah, but I'd love your quick take on it. We dissected it a bit last week. But
Yeah.
how do you feel about our new world champion, Pogacar, in the fellas?
I think it was 2 parts to that world championship. I think the part of I don't think people realise his tactics were so good. One, having a teammate in the breakaway to wait for him, and his physical prowess was undeniable. Obviously the strongest guy in the world, but I mean, he deserved to win that, not just physically, but mentally, and whoever ran that team did a very, very good job of sending someone up the road to wait for him. And 2, I think the major mistakes of Evenepoel and Van der Poel, who looked at each other and said, there's no way, and they had way too much faith in their teams to bring him back. So two parts to the World Championships, the undeniable prowess and physical ability of the Pog, who should never be underestimated.
Never.
And not even 150 metres underestimated on a course that goes 4,800 or 900 metres of climbing. For them to do that was a huge mistake because they were super strong, those 2 guys, and they showed it in the chase. They tried so many times. So they went I don't know how many times they went and tried to bring him back on numerous occasions. They should have just followed him, even if they sat his wheel and said, you're not going anywhere. So those 2 mistakes from those 2 guys, I believe, really defined the World Championships, and having their tactics was brilliant. It was brilliant tactics on his behalf.
It was one of the best ever, I would say. Like, it truly was spectacular. Mark Cavendish, now he's won a world title on the road, sprinter.
Mm-hmm.
Pog, very much classics rider, like great, tremendous climber, but not the very best climber, pure climber in the world. More classics. Next year, the World Championships head to Africa for the first time. It's going to be absolutely magnificent in Rwanda. But over 5,000 metres of climbing for the men's race. We're looking at a race that's going to really suit climbers. Like, perhaps we're looking at a Jonas Vingegaard. Maybe that could suit him. Is that the right move to have a
2
course
years in a row?
But a course so specific that really, from the outset, there's only a handful that could win.
Well, I think it's great if they give one to the sprinters next year or the year after, and then one to kind of the punchier riders, and then the next year climbing and the next one sprinting. You can't just have 15 to 20 guys who can win worlds. You know, yes, there's tactical moves and that all-rounding strong guy who does well in Grand Tours, who can climb a bit and also ride a crosswind. But, I mean, if we're going to really showcase road cycling, in a Grand Tour you have the best time trialers once, and they have their own time trials as well, I get that. But, you know, sprinters, medium range mountains for breakaways and high mountains, and you showcase the whole peloton. If you're going to do worlds, then like in our era, we did Zolder, where Mario Cipollini...
Flat. That was pancake flat.
Yeah, I mean, I raced in Zolder.
Robbie McEwen nearly won a world title.
Well, we had 3 Australians in the top 10, 2nd, 5th and 8th. So Robbie, Baden Cook and Stuart O'Grady all in the top 10 of the World Road Championships. And you had 9 Italians leading Chippo out, or 8 Italians just riding the front and doing a full lead out with Cancellara and, you know, Pataki and everyone else going the whole hog just for him. So that just hasn't been repeated since. So it just seems
you're
to
right,
be...
actually. There was Qatar. But it actually didn't play out in the way it could have. But that was pancake flat. But I guess the wind played a lot more into that.
Yeah. So I really don't think. I mean, are we talking? I mean, is the UCI just trying to expand into Africa? And we're going about different things here, talking about different things here. And I think it's good that we go on different continents in Australia, Europe, Africa. The United States, Canada's had it before. So, yeah, I think it's good that we're going to Africa, and I hope it's run really well. I heard that the Tour of Rwanda, the riders love doing it. So, yeah, this is not just Chris Froome going to Rwanda and making a part of that. I've heard that Rwanda is a really good race, so that'll be exciting to have cycling go to Africa. But
it'll be
spectacular. 5,500 metres of climbing over 270, so another 700 metres on top of what we saw this year. Yeah, I mean, Merckxy handed me an article about Jonas Vingegaard, and they think he's the only one that can challenge next year. So, I mean, we've got another 2-horse race.
Yeah, well, look, Poggy's got to be pretty happy. Speaking of a happy Poggy, Lombardia this weekend. It's kind of, I hate to say it, but a bit of a poor cousin of the classics.
Yeah.
Is it just the timing? Because it's a beautiful race. It's a beautiful scenic location, and it is wonderful, but it doesn't ever seem to have the same competitive focus as the spring.
Yeah, I think they should move it in between the Giro and the Tour.
Ooh.
I reckon they should chuck it in during.
Actually, that'd be pretty cool timing, because there's also no real one-dayers there. You know, that's truly tour season, short ones, long ones.
Yeah,
so that could have an interesting outcome.
Swiss and Dauphiné are the only 2 real large events in between, and you've got the guys who finished the Giro, really good Italians who are stomping. They go really are in good condition. Have it 6 days after the Giro, 7 days after the Giro, so you get the best of them. And then you got the guys doing the Tour de France coming into July who are training, who would do that. So, you know, have the Tour de France prep, and it's a 1-day race, and it's a beautiful race. It really is. Some of those climbs around northern Italy are just magnificent. So it's a very, very hard 1-day race, and I think, I mean, maybe the UCI's push for them to stay at that event at that time slot because they want to showcase the world champion. So that's always been the case, is that world champion goes down to Lombardy. It's the first time they see it. Well, I mean, you've just had
That's
Piemonte.
true.
You've just had those 3 1 days in Italy and Lombardy. So they love that spot, at the end of the year. But
It does make sense for that. I can't see Pog getting beaten.
No.
Not if short of misadventure.
Exactly.
But yes.
No, odds-on favourite.
I'll be watching simply because it's the last really big one of the season, and I feel like, one more night of sleep deprivation.
Oh.
Carry us through.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing, that course too. There's an amazing museum on that course called the Gisalo Museum. It's got all the Giro, Tour de France. It's got bikes from it's got jerseys from all eras from the early 19th century. There's even Robbie McEwen's jersey in there when I let him out for the Giro when he won the pink jersey, and there's jerseys in there from Jan Ulrich when he won his first tour, and it's pretty special to walk around there. And I went there a couple of years ago because I'm with Velo Tours, and we do a really great ride around there. And you go up this Muro de Samano, which is like over 25%, which you get up, you have to walk almost. Well, I've jumped off and stopped and had a few breathers, but there's some really cool stuff in there, including this unicycle guy that did the whole Giro Italia, the whole start to finish on a unicycle. So all the mountains and all the descents.
How do you get up and down the Dolomites on a unicycle?
Yeah, I don't know. You know how they do that stop-start thing with the unicycle, forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards? You got to see it in your head right now, how they stop, go.
Yeah, if you're not seeing that in your head, just close your eyes and try a little bit harder. Episode 113 of The Wheelhouse. I'm glad you've brought up unicycles, Henk, because Lachlan Morton, he's incredible. Oh. He didn't ride a unicycle, but he is the fastest to circumnavigate Australia, 30 days, 9 hours and 59 minutes. I don't know how many seconds, but that'll do it. Massive cut off the previous record. It was a pleasure to watch. Like he's
good was
hardcore, but it's impressive.
Do yourself a favour and go and follow him on Instagram, because every day he put like a 2-minute video, and they're making a movie of it too, I might add.
Ooh.
So there's a full documentary going, but every day he did a 2-minute clip, and he was just talking about the headwinds and what the hell am I doing out here, and how many Ks he did and what time he got up. He's getting up at like 1:30 in the morning after a couple hours sleep and riding 300 and 400K and then getting off and then going again. It's just madness, but what a freak.
It's soul searching. It's defining, isn't it? Now look, I don't know about you, Henk, but I have a bit of an appetite for, doing something spectacular as well. And I'm inspired by Whacky, and so I've taken a bit of a look at the record books, the cycling record books. Mike Spinner, and that is actually his name, has the record for the most backflips on a BMX in 1 minute. That's 14. I don't think that's one we can break.
No, I don't even could do one.
I thought I'm pretty good at track stands. I've always been pretty good at them. Maybe that's something I could do. Until I looked it up, and Clement Leroy on the 16th of July in 2019 did a track stand for 24 hours and 26 seconds.
Oh my God, that's making my back sore just even thinking.
Yep, so I'm now crossing that one off the list.
That one?
I thought I can't do a wheelie very well, but I could learn. But the longest record for a wheelie, 2,839.6 kilometres.
Oh my God.
Doing a wheelie, that's gone.
Not going to try that one.
Are there any that you might have your eye on?
Yeah, fastest downhill. Okay,
so what's the current record?
I did look it up, and it is 233 k's an hour.
Right. So how do you propose you break that one?
Well, I've done 119.6 down Mapleton Range with the boys.
Okay, so but unpaced, right? It's got to be unpaced?
Yeah, but unpaced is 133. I reckon I can get that.
133 unpaced. All right,
so
I'll put you down for that. Merckxy, have you got your eye on any records?
No, I'm still trawling the internet, Do you remember Tatiana Grigorieva?
Yes.
Oh, yes. She was probably in the black and white, wasn't she?
She was.
Yes.
Yep, she was.
I'm getting closer, Vogels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting closer.
I can't believe you're still stalking me.
He's still longest look for some black and white photos is what Merckxy's going for. But I think one for the wheelhouse could be, we'll need some volunteers for this one, most people on a bicycle. But you have to be somebody, it has to be moving.
What's the record? 30?
35.
35. Can that be like small children? Or has that got to be adults?
Oh, I think it's just people.
Just people.
So,
it doesn't matter what size they are.
I mean,
like
you
dwarves.
You could have a lot of people
kitties,
with baby Bjorns on the front and the back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But I still don't reckon we could get there.
34.
I don't think we could get
close.
close.
We could do it on the longest tandem bicycle.
With Benny Hill music.
Yeah, with Benny Hill music. I don't know. If anybody has any other ideas of records we could break, because there's some really boring ones. I mean, they're epic, but they're, a little bit more savoury. Like longest distance cycled in 24 hours, 1,008 kilometres.
Gee.
Longest distance record travelled on an indoor bike. So there's all these longest, highest, whatever. But I think we could perhaps come up with something new.
Well, didn't you say you were going to try and see the one around a city, fastest circumnavigation of a city by a bicycle?
I did think of that because
around Brisbane.
I don't think there is currently
what is the city limits? It's got to find that out.
But if we found out the city limits of Brisbane and then we circumnavigated that
behind the moto,
and sure, because
I've got a scooter,
and
I'm going to go on the scooter.
Even if just for a day, we could hold the certificate and we could.
Would we have to call Guinness and then pay the $1,000, or we just call this a wheelhouse record?
I just reckon. I mean, if it's not documented somewhere else, then I say we can claim it.
I reckon. Well,
if anybody has ideas,
I'll go
anything
for
else we can do.
I'll try and get the fastest downhill.
All right.
I reckon I can get it.
133 unpaced is what you're looking at.
I only need 14k an hour faster than now.
Because the one over 200k an hour, that's on snow. It's unpaced, but it's on snow.
Only a madman would do that. It's just next level Red Bull, hospital, ambulances down the bottom waiting for him stuff.
Yeah, let's not do that. I think a record that's not going to be broken.
Yeah, I like my life.
I think you should. I like your life too. Is Brisbane to Gold Coast 100-kilometre record this weekend. Team Wheelhouse. We are saddling up for it. Merckxy, are you ready to go?
I am pumped, Kate. I am pumped.
Excellent. I have highlighted the 2 rest stops along the way because I think we may need them.
Yes, I'll be clapping from the sidelines.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Live, we've got a live withdrawal.
Yes.
From the Beta GC team.
I'm unfortunately going to be unable to attend this Sunday.
I'm
sorry. I'm sorry, camp.
All right. Well, look, Merckxy, that is one less pair of hands to push me up the hills.
I don't know who's going to tow me now.
No.
I just can't do it, guys. I need to stay married.
Yeah. No, I understand, Danita. We're on your side here. That's totally fair. But Merckxy, Joel and I, the team becomes
Is Joel still on?
Yes,
yep.
yes.
Oh, very good.
Oh, look, if we have to fly down to Sydney tomorrow, put him in a suitcase and fly him back up, we will do that. Make sure he's on the start line. No records broken there. We're going to have a lot of fun, though.
I'm sure. For a great cause, too.
For a great cause. And, look, excellent news. I'm riding because of my Auntie Ruthie, who has a cancer battle of her own, but she's doing really well. So sensational news from her, and I think I can suck it up and suffer for 100k.
Yeah, I mean, my dad passed away from cancer too, so I understand the power behind.
I will suck it up and suffer for you too,
thanks.
Henk, and for Henk Senior. Blackline starts this weekend. You can watch it online. We've got a team. They're going to be live streaming. We've got Max Sudholt, Anna Duvier, Nicole Duncan, Dalton Stretton, and Morella Vallis. Hell, good luck, team.
Oh,
is
wow.
all I can say.
Have we got any pictures of the jersey?
It's the pink jersey we've had
the
here,
pink
but we'll have it.
jersey.
Merckxy, if you can bring yourself up, he's got our official team
the team
T-shirt
shirt,
on. Yes, there it is. Beautiful. Team Wheelhouse, Blackline Track League.
Oh, that's super cool.
Amy Gillett Foundation on the back, Wheelhouse on the back.
Oh,
So
have to get one of
Yep.
them. Okay.
Yep, they've all got a little care package with some lights to make sure they put them on their bikes,
Oh, unreal.
on their road bikes. They
so
don't need
that-
to put it on their track
So that
bikes.
starts this weekend in
It does,
Sydney.
in Sydney, and then Brisbane at the end of November, and then Melbourne in the middle of December. But it's incredible the number of teams that have entered and the athletes. We've got 10 athletes, only 5 racing the first round, but 10 in total. It's just fantastic. So
What do you think our chances are?
yeah,
We got some good.
There's
got
some good
athletes.
riders
oh,
there.
we've got a double junior world champion in Nicole Duncan
Wow.
leading the way. So I don't think we're going to have any problems at all.
Any issues whatsoever?
And Dalton Stretton, one of our endurance
Bridgeline
riders,
rider.
he is super impressive. I've been commentating on him since he first hit like the national scene as a junior, and he's one of those really exciting bunch races. And as Australia kind of twists its focus back to bunch racing a little bit for Worlds and Olympics,
Oh, it's a good
they're
little
the
squad.
sort of riders we need. We've got a great squad. Yeah, I'm
So how
excited.
can we watch it?
They are putting it on YouTube. We'll put the link up on social media. Bear will confirm that for us. If he answered his text messages, I'd already have it.
All right. So we're
Come
going to
on,
be able to
Bear.
watch it on YouTube.
Yes, it'll be on YouTube. We will find a lot about it on social media, on Instagram, Facebook. We will put all the links up on our site. So please, everybody, get behind all of the riders, but particularly our team because, you know, we're a little bit biased.
Yes, for sure.
I'm
Go
excited.
Wheelhouse.
Go Wheelhouse. And while they're racing, we will be suffering down to the Gold Coast. Merckxy, Joel and I. It's all right. You don't need to feel guilty. Henk.
I'm just keeping my head down over here.
Yeah. I mean, I'd turn your phone on silent because we're going to start calling you from the start line at 5 a.m. No, we won't do that, Danita. Episode 113 of The Wheelhouse. You reckon you'll come back for 114? Is that Freddie I can hear in the control room,
it's
Merckxy?
Freddie. Yeah, I think he wants a wee.
Freddie the
Just-
Cocker Spaniel's just saying goodbye to everybody.
Yeah, I bet you didn't find any photos of me in there, did you, Maxie?
You wait, mate. Let me tell you something. I found the magazine. You know who else was in it? There was Sam Riley, Scott Miller,
Yep.
Shane Heel,
Yep.
and you were on page 156. So quite deep in there. But
Hold on.
so
You're
there you
getting
go.
At least I
close,
wasn't
though.
page 3.
Yeah, oh, you're sweating.
If you
Nova
know
Paris?
the page number,
Yeah. Look
yeah.
out, buddy.
Feel
I told
free.
you.
that's
free
what
to share
episode
this.
114 has in store.
All I'll just say is I've got a pretty good six-pack in those photos.
All right, well, TBC.
Not anymore.
Watch this space.
We could recreate it.
Yes, thank you very much. Oh my gosh. I was about to say thank you to BikeBug. I will anyway, but I'm not sure that they want to be right next to the comment about Henk's nude photos.
Six-pack.
Oh, the six-pack, that's right.
All right.
Yeah,
You know.
six-pack's good. This
Thanks,
has gone
BikeBug.
off the rails. Thank you, BikeBug, for the support. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. Come along. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Merckxy.
Enjoy your ride this weekend, guys.
Thank you. Happy Googling.
Remember Michael Murphy, the diver?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's
He's
page
in there
12.
too.